good afternoon. How are you all doing? I hope you're all well. I hope you're good. Saw you Saturday. Hope you've been well since then. Hello everyone. So if you are new and you're not quite sure how this works, there is a live chat. So if you hear me talk for a minute, it's just because I'm saying hello to everyone. Hello Shannon. Hi Angela. Hi Kenny. Hi Mary. Hi Brandy. Hi Good Cat. Hi Dee, hi Sarah, that's okay. I felt like I'd been hit by a bus for a day and then I felt absolutely fine after the vaccine. So it just takes a little while and hopefully you should be okay. Is the sound nice and clear, not too loud? Sometimes it goes loud, sometimes it doesn't, but I hope it's all okay. Okay, so today we're going to be doing the Circle of Life, and I've picked a couple, but I think I've got one that I like. Melody, it's so nice to see you lurk away, hun. Hiya, Pamela. Hello, Ashley. Hiya, Groon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hiya, Mona. Oh, okay. We won't say anymore. You're going to see, as Andrew calls it, the tooth fixer, and I laugh every time he says it. He's like, I'm going to tooth fixer, and I'm like, oh my God, where did you get this from? Where did I find you? So I'll give it a couple of minutes and before I start, I'll let everyone come on in because I was 2 or 3 minutes earlier than usual. Hey Ali, good afternoon all, although some of you are in the morning, some of you are up late at night, but I hope you're all well. Okay, so hello Connie, I channeled my inner Connie, I'm going to show you in a minute. Hi Debbie. Oh, that's okay. Hi Kirsty. You go. It's snowing, no way. It was freezing yesterday, wasn't it? We went from having the most glorious spring weather of like 24 to 26 one day, and then it went all the way and plummeted down to -2 last night. It was absolutely freezing. How can you go from 26 Celsius to -2 within 2 days? It is beyond me. I don't know how that happened, but I also want to wish our lovely Lou. Now, Lou, I don't think is here at the moment, or she might not be able to pop in today, but if she does, our lovely Lou Scoffin, one of our mods, it's her birthday today. So the biggest, happiest birthday to Lou, and we love her, and we hope that she has an amazing day. Hi, Adela. Good morning to you guys in the US. Okay, so my inner Connie came out. I finished one. I couldn't believe it. I actually finished a page. So this is by Petra. I have actually got the link for her Instagram where you message her to order this. But I channeled my inner Connie. I used Petra's palette. This is Petra, this is me. So this was the original one. And this is the one that I came up with, and I just loved every single minute of it. It was so much fun, and yeah, I just loved it so much. But this was her first colouring book. I'm not sure if she's making a third. I think I saw something about a third book. I can't remember. But she's got 2. This was in my April bag to colour, and I chose this one, and I thought I've got to get it done. I just had to get it done. So I ended up sitting there watching bits and bobs on the telly, and I finished it. So really enjoyed this one. If you're wondering whether to get this, I wouldn't hesitate. There's a couple of reasons. Nearly every single pencil that I tried out on this worked. The paper is thick-ish. It is slightly thinner than an A4 sheet. So an A4 is slightly smaller than the letter size. Thank you. Oh no, I'm not, but thank you so much. I just enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed it. But it's slightly thinner than an A4 by about that amount. But it's the same length, and I just loved every minute of it. And the nice thing is, if you're stuck for inspiration, some of them do have on the opposite page the example, and some don't. But if you do the example pages first, I'd say that gives you a big indication of how you're going to tackle the ones that aren't So this is from Petra directly. Thank you, Kenny. That is the Instagram page that you go to. Petra is also a colorist, but she does do the books. You can't buy this on Etsy and you can't buy this on Amazon. You have to actually go to her Instagram, privately message her and ask, you know, if she's still got some she's shipping, etc, etc. So I ordered this directly from her and I am so happy that I did. As I said, Connie is totally responsible for this purchase and totally responsible for the inspiration, because she's the one that I always looked at and looked up to with this book. And Connie's done some beautiful colouring. She's done this one on her channel, I think, and she just does the most gorgeous colourings in this. So if you want to go over to CB's colouring and crafts channel as well, she does lots on here. Also, Karen Zucchini Kitty has done one from here, two from here actually, two. She's done this one and she's done an iris page. It might have been in the other one, I'm not quite sure, but she's done one from this as well. So just to let you know about that, they are stunning. Remember, if there's anything for me, stick it in big capital letters so I can see it. As for PDFs, I'm not quite sure. What are you into? I haven't actually bought too many. I've got the Mariola ones. Hold on. I haven't printed some off, but I did bind, like, you know, with the binding machine. I did bind the Flower Inspirations by Mariola. So I bound this one. I don't know if you've seen this one. This is by Mariola Budek. So I've done the index, just a little quick rabbit trail. I did bind this one. This is just 10, I think, or is it 9? And these are all flowers. This is Mariola. And if you're into flowers, that's another nice one to get. I bound this myself. This I thought it's something that could be put in a little booklet of its own. I thought it was really beautiful. So there's that one. If you're into flowers, there is this one by Mariola. That's on her store. Who else? This lady. If you want the links for all these, you're going to have to wait till I finish my stream. But there is this one if you want to do portraits. I don't know how you pronounce the name. Wara. I'm not quite sure if that's silent H. But these are PDFs, like portrait PDFs, and you get different versions of each one. I think there's 4 or 5 different versions of each. So this is another one, and there's quite a lot of detail if you can look. And you can get, like, there's one that I've got the simplified versions that I printed off actually, and each one has 4. So you get, I haven't printed them all off, but you get a set of 4 in each. And this is another one. And this one. I just like the simplified versions of these. And then this one. But I haven't printed off the images, all of them. But that's another one if you're not familiar. And then if you want cutesy, what I did do was print 2 to a page. So you probably have heard of Mitzi Sato Wyeth. That is how you say the name here. And she does the sprites. So what I've done, I've bound the whole lot, and I have done 2 to a page because I don't think these need to be a full page. So I've bound this as well. So you can get all different sets. This is one set, and she's actually got a sale on right now. So you can get the let me move that. You can get the images on sale at the moment. But I've done 2 to a page because I thought that would be perfect for these little tiny cutesies. I'll bring you down a little bit. Yeah, me too. So adorable. She does more of the, I suppose, fancier. These are the cutesies. But these are the zodiacs. And then what I've done is just put all her books together. So the flower sprites, I haven't got them all printed. I need more card. These are Flower Sprites Volume 5. I thought it'd be a good idea to put them together with a binding thing, because I thought it'd just be easier to have them all together rather than all separate. But these are so cute. If you don't want a big page one day, you just fancy getting one little tiny sprite Number 4, this is volume 4. You can just do one of these. Hello, Nelly. Aren't they gorgeous? They're just so adorable. So this is the sprites. And these are all flower ones. And I've just got to print off the holiday sprites. This is now volume 3. So you get the gist. So cute. Oops. Oh, nice. You're working on an actual colouring book. What? The illustrations. That sounds nice. Well, I wish you luck. Okay, hold on. Then we got volume 2. These are all the flower ones. I just think they're so cute. And you can fussy cut these and put these into journals. You can put them on a card. You can put them on a... Cut them out as like a postcard and do the back as a postcard to someone. But yeah, these are just super adorable. And then my favourite, I have to say, is the fruits and veggies. So this is the strawberry and corn, apple and pineapple. Oh, I'll put her name in a second, sorry. It's actually Aurora Wings, but it's mixed. I'll put all the links after the stream. Cherry and bamboo, blueberry and cauliflower, and pumpkin and raspberry. And the name of the artist is here. So Mitzi Satu Wyeth. But this is all ones I've done 2 to a page. So naturally they come just one giant one. But I've done 2 to a page because I didn't think that they needed to be any bigger than that. And then lastly, I'm waiting on some binding spines so that I can stick the beauty inspirations and hair into a spine. You know, one of those spines and they sort of go on the edge like that. Because I don't want these to have holes. But I don't know if you've seen these, but you can get different hair and beauty inspirations from Mariola. So this is pack 1. Well, it's not, it's pack 2, but this is the pack 1 that I'm showing you. Hiya, Tracy. And then the other one is Beauty Inspirations 2, and you get these. I'm all sorted. Shannon, I'm all sorted. And then the other one is this one. And then we've got those. So you've got all different ones from Mariola. So Mariola is a hot favourite over here. I love her. Okay, so down to the colouring, because that's what you're here for. And I've done enough of the chatting from the last stream. Is Circle of Life. And I had a couple picked out, but I think I've settled on this one. So the one that I've picked is this one here on the left. And I've picked the Humpback Whale with the little lighthouse, the ice here. And I'm going to use Polys and Distress Inks, which I've been using with the illustrations in this so far. And I just think it gives us a good little starting point with the Distress Inks, especially on the ice and on the underneath here. So I think we're going to do that today. But we're using, hello Becky. Yes, it is great, isn't it? I forgot how to use it yesterday. I was sitting there absolutely baffled, thinking I can't remember which one. So on the cinch machine, you've got to put, when you do the second round of your other part of your A4 page, you have to pull one of the little numbers, and I couldn't remember for the life of me which number to pull. And I was sitting there trying to wrap my brain, and so I did it on some sheets of paper that I hadn't, you know, I don't care for, just scrap bits of paper, and I did it on that first, and I just thought, oh, I can't think. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the penguins and the icicles here and the sea. And we're going to start with the icicles with the Distress Inks to start with. So I've just got my drawer out with my inks, which is just, I keep them in one of my drawers from the cupboard, and I want a nice blue and a nice sort of turquoisey green. So I'm thinking something along the lines, I think I use pine needles, and I need a light blue, so I'm going to just, or evergreen bough might be one, but we'll have a little play. You can also use inks, but the inks might run through to the back. Don't forget they are double-sided. That's the only downside to this, is that they are double-sided. We've got some Chip Sapphire. Let's have a look at our colours. I know I've got like Mermaid Lagoon, which is a nice bright blue. Or we have, no, Stormy Sky isn't going to be for that actually, because that's a bit too dark. I'm just trying to find the right tones. So grab your cups of tea, grab your whips or your coffees, whatever your choice of drink is at this time. Might be broken china. And come and join us for a little while if you can. Whatever you're doing that can make you chill out and relax. And we've got a couple of hours to spare today. Hello, Nana. I did. It is a gorgeous page, isn't it, Kat? Yeah, I went to Mum and Dad. So we had a dinner, a roast beef dinner. So I need a sheet of paper. Just let me grab one. And that's what we do. We don't celebrate as in like big, but we have a nice dinner. So we had a nice roast, and of course Mum's in my bubble, but we're coming out of lockdown now, so we're doing it all safely. But what did you all do? Did you all just chill out? Even if you don't celebrate, you can still celebrate in small ways, even if you have a nice day for yourself. And as I said, if Lou comes in, she manages to come in today, she's probably nice and busy with her hubby. Don't forget to wish Lou Scoffin a very happy birthday, because it's her birthday today. And it was also our Desiree as well, who's not around at the moment. But we want to wish her a happy birthday as well for the 31st. Okay, so what we're going to do is pick out a nice lightish blue. I'm going to use my dabbers to start with, my little ones, my detail one. Oh, nice. I love how so many people are getting involved with the checklist challenge. It makes my heart so happy. I'm like, yes, go you. I've actually done two. I've done two, but one of them is like ticked off about 6, so. Hey, Selena. That's okay, you lurk away. Okay, so let's see broken china. I think that would be a nice colour, and so would evergreen bough. Let me just, this is just a tester. These are more the colours I need. Or Mermaid Lagoon. That's probably a bit too bright blue, isn't it? We can always add some in if we need it. Okay, let's get a nice amount down. Okay, so let's get some of that off. Sometimes you just need to rub it all and get a decent amount on your brush. Now I'm going to go down to the icicles here, and I'm going to see if I can get a nice amount down. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to bring you down. I'm not a distressing key expert, trust me. I just go with the flow on this. I'm going to go from the bottom, and I'm going to bring and drag some of that up. It just starts us off. And that's the thing that I'm looking for. I want to do as less work as possible with this, with the blues, and just get as much done with the distress inks before I come in with the pencil. So we're just going to sort of, you can dab off on your page and just come up a bit. And I'm just literally going to fade it upwards, so into very small circular motions. I've got to be aware and be careful of those little penguins. They're so small and they're very easily hit by the ink. So I'm going to try my hardest here and just get some of the broken china. I'll leave that in the, there you go, we're using broken china. Some of it might be a bit darker, but we'll bring that in after. So these are the ice. Now the down here is going to be a different colour, so we're using the ice at the moment. Let's get some of this in, and whatever I leave, see I hit him, whatever I leave, I'll fill in with the pencils. We're just going to have a nice chill out on this. Now I sometimes, when I've been doing these, I've just got all the base down with the inks, and I've just come in with my polys. My polys have been the one with this one. So, but if you've got this book and you're a bit intimidated by it, this is a good way to start it. Just start it off with your inks. I am so happy that I discovered that, and that's big influence by Zucchini Kitty with her inks. But I've also been using these a lot, and it's got me a bit more confident with them when I use them for cards. So that's taught me how to blend them and do bigger surfaces with them. But if you're like me and you're not particularly confident with inks, that's okay as well, because you can come in with detail after. So you can just do bits at the moment. So we're just going to bring in all that detail. We're going to do, see how quick it does it as well. Yeah. But the Posca's going to come in handy for that little penguin's tummy. So all is not lost, Nana. How's your new flat, by the way? How are you finding it? You look like you're loving life. It's so nice to have your own space, even though you're lovely family as well. You'll miss them, but it is so nice to have your own space. I say that all the time. If you hear Chip snoring, well, I say no more. He's snoring his little head off. Okay, so that's like some of it done. See how quick and easy that was. Now I'm just going to get a bit of a darker, I think I'm going to go with chipped sapphire. Let me check that out. Yeah, so I'm just going to dab in a little bit darker, especially around the bottom here. And I'm going so light, I'm hardly like touching. I don't want to put too much in. Oh my God, my dog. He's so unsettled at the moment. He's got to go and have his little glands done on Thursday. He won't look forward to that, I can tell you. I was like, Mummy's booked you in for something you really don't like there, mister. And he's just looking at me like, It's like, yep, that is what I said. Okay, so I'm just putting in some chipped sapphire at the moment. And then we'll put in some evergreen bough at the tops. I don't think pine needles, I think it is evergreen bough. Okay. Yes, independence is such a big thing, and you don't realise until when it's been away for so long and you get it back. It's so nice, it's freeing, it's so freeing, isn't it? And that applies to everyone. You know, when we have, whether or not we haven't been able to drive for a while or whatever it might be, when you get that back, it's just heavenly. Okay, then we're going to get evergreen bough. Don't forget, you can dab off at the side if you've got too much. And just on the corners of my stick, I'm just going to come in. And don't worry if you go over the edges a little bit, because the sky is going to be also done. But you need to have some of this nice green. And we're going to have a snow, like Posca pen's going to come in as your best friend as well. So this has done a lot of the hard work for us. Very, very easily and very quickly. So we're just going to blend that out into those blues that we've already applied. So, and I'll go over the three that we used. As I said, this is more one of those things that this is so optional. You can do this in pencils, you don't have to do this in inks, but it will take you a lot longer, that's all. Okay, so we're going to go for here. Now, those little penguins. Yes, I know, he's not going to like me, Angela, at all. He's going to hate me, in fact. Okay, and the other one that I'd like to just bring in, but you can just go over again with your, sorry about my arm, Stormy Sky It's a nice big one, and it's like a greying type of colour, and I'm just going to put that underneath where those little penguins are. Now the penguins, don't worry, they'll have their colour back. That's just going to go here, and then I can't wait to do the whale. Let's go for some on this bit here. Now all of this is going to be blue, so I wouldn't worry too much about all of that, because we've got to do all the water anyway. Just going to be different shades of blue. Okay, so that's all sort of done. Now what we're going to do now is fill in those little penguins. So you Stormy Sky, Broken China, Chip Sapphire, and Evergreen Bow. They're what I used. So different blues, and we're going to come back to them. You can use Mermaid Lagoon as well, but I think that is enough. Let me just move them. So I'm going to bring in my polys in a minute. And I'm just going to push them aside because we're going to need those back. Okay, so I'm just going to bring you up a second. See how quick and easy that is as well. So this will be your best friend very shortly. But in the meantime, let's grab some of our pencils. So I'm going to grab a bunch of blues. I think I'm going to get myself... I'm going to grab myself Helio Turquoise number 155. I'm going to get Colbert Green in 156. I'm going to grab myself a Prussian Blue in 246. Possibly, if we need it, I'm going to do some Dark Indigo in 157. Hello, Christine. How are you doing? Oh, he'll be stuck to me like glue, Angela. It's so funny. He hates me for about 5 minutes and then he's alright. It's like, he'll just be like, oh, Mom, I've been violated. Okay, so let's go for these top parts first. I'm going to do the Colbert Green in 156. This is Polychromos. Again, I will add in any colours that I use. But this is just a nice relaxed colouring session. As I said, grab your whips, grab your hobbies or your cuppa. Some of you need that extra boost of caffeine in the mornings. I don't blame you. I've been like that myself because my sleep pattern's been all over the place. But yeah, just grab what you need and just come and join us for a bit and relax. This is what I think colouring chats and live streams are so good for. Like when I'm watching live streams, I love to have a whip. I love to sit down, glance up at the chat and, you know, chat along, colour along and chill out. Okay, so this is such a nice way of getting on top of these. Now, don't forget, I say this all the time, you have to go through Ugly Duckling stage to get to the Swan stage. Now, no duckling's ugly, but you know what I mean. I love the fact that this will look so different when you're done, but that gets the majority done for you. Hold on. Oh, that's better. But definitely some, oh my gosh, you know when you're trying to read the chat and you have 101 notifications pop up on your computer, let me just clear them because otherwise I can't see you. There we go. It's Tonic Studios trying to get me to buy things again. That's what that was. Anyone got any plans for April? Anything like, are you planning on doing a little staycation? Are you planning on looking forward to the shops again? Are you planning your colouring, your crafts? I'm trying to readjust back because Andrew's now out of lockdown again and he's back to, as of the 1st, he's back to doing shifts and they're all over the place. Like tonight is a 12:30, last night was just 1:30. They're all over the place and we're trying to adjust to that again. So, and I cannot wait for the shops to reopen and my hair is in dire need of attention. I don't know about anyone else, but we say this all the time, but my hair has been a lockdown victim completely. Take care, Kirsty. I think it's been the biggest victim of all. Okay, going to pick up my Prussian blue in 246. I'm going to go underneath these little penguins. As I said, I'm not too bothered if they've got any ink on them because we can sort that out with Posca and with pencils because I've got to do their little bellies. But yes, my hair has been the biggest victim, I think, of this lockdown, of this complete pandemic. Someone asked me what suffered. I'm going to say my hair. My hair suffered. It's not been attended to since not this January, the January before. I mean, I've done things myself, but not the same as a hairdresser. I'm not a hairdresser, and my goodness, I know it's the least of people's problems, but you know, it does make you feel better when you've had your hair done. It does make you feel better when you've actually done something that you usually do. But yes, my hair has been a victim of this. So I'm looking forward to that. That reopens for us in the UK this month, and so does the shops. And yeah, I might go do a little bit of birthday shopping maybe, and just go and see what's out there, as long as it's not too busy. Okay, I'm going to grab myself my Helio Turquoise in 155, and I'm just going to fill in a little few more of those gaps. Oh, Angela, you should see it. It's just, oh, it needs it. And then, do you know how much it's grown? So I had a graduated short bob, and now it's kind of like way past my shoulders. But I have it up in ponytails most of the time because I can't be doing that. I am not someone that, my hair goes thinner as it gets longer, so I tend to have my hair very short. Like, not very short, my front graduated part's long and the back goes up a bit. So I just like a graduated bob. Okay, so let's do some of these here. Oh, Becky, you're going as well. So yours hasn't been done in a year. Same here. The grey's down to the middle of my head and my hair to my shoulder blades. I hear you, Becky. Except I haven't got the grey. It's just gone dark at the roots. My roots are ridiculous. I can't even tell you. They are so bad. I hear you. I hear you loudly. Okay, I'm going to come with my dark indigo a second. Again, I'm just going to go on the parts where I know it's going to be darker. Okay, so this will look different in a minute and you'll see why. Once I've done the penguins, this will look completely different. Let's go for number 144 as well. So it's just those few blues that I've got. You can send Brian. Is he good with colouring hair as well? Does he do graduation? Do I need to book him? I would not let Andrew near my hair with scissors. Oh my. He can help me colour, but there's no way scissors and Andrew are going to go hand in hand. And if they do, he's going to be outside doing it to a mannequin and not me. He did say to me that he'll treat me this month to get it done. He's like, oh, I'll get it done. And I said to him, well, I think I'm going to have to really book in advance because Carly's going to be a busy lady because she comes to my house. Hello, Benita. She comes to the house, so. And I love her, like, she's so nice. She's, you know when you get a good hairdresser, she's just really a good hairdresser. Right, don't forget these little penguins. Right, I'm going to go back to my Colbert Green. Any of those little tiny areas we've missed, just come in with the pencils in between them now. So any of those tiny little areas in between each of these penguins, I'm just going to go in with this, and I can't wait to get the Posca on these bits as well. So let's grab all those little sections. I'll do one section at a time rather than go all over the place, because I usually like to dart all over the place, but I'm not going to on this one. Right, so These little penguin guys, they need some cream. So we're going to get an ivory, we're going to get cream, and we're going to get an orange, because don't forget their little orange bellies. Dawn, the book is The Circle of Life. The link is down in the description. Okay, so going to have to bring you right on down, and we're going to go to these tiny little penguins. And as I said, don't worry about this, because we can Posca that out. So I'm going to go for 111 cadmium orange, and they have like this little tiny orange belly. This isn't special colouring, this is just fun colouring today. I'm not being typically thorough like I usually would. Like, I'm a stickler for being too thorough, and I think sometimes you need to just let go. And the way that I'm enjoying this book is by doing that. Then I'm going to get my cream, and I'm just going to go around some of that orange. Because they're emperor penguins, and emperor penguins are my favourite. Don't know about you guys, but I love them. And then any of the rest of it is going to be a number 103, which is ivory. And I'm just going to go literally over that. And then we're going to get the Posca onto the rest of the bellies, because we've gone over with some inks. But all is not lost, because it's very easy to fix. So let's get our Posca. Hey, you purple. Okay, so you should get my Posca at the bottom, and all I have to do, if I really want to, is just reapply the white in. So that's just on the bottom bits of the penguins. It takes out any of the ink, and it just reapplies that white in. Can you see that? Okay, so if I come up a little bit, oh, we've got a penguin there we missed. Oh. Okay, go back to my little orange, my cream, and my ivory. And he didn't have any on him. Right, so I'm going to come back with my Posca, and all I'm going to do now is on the very tops of these, you know how I do my little snowflakes? So you can bring these down and you can keep them at the top, but we'll keep them snow covered, because they kind of need to be, don't they? So I'm just going to bring it on the tops, and we're going to bring in, like, just dot it. It's just, you've got a little bit more control with this if you dot it. And I'm going to follow the line along the tops. I'm just going to bring it down. Hi, Lou. Winchester. We have a few Lou's, so I have to call you by your nicknames. I wouldn't mind being called Winchester. Okay, so I'm going to bring down some of that dotting, and I'm going to bring it all the way down because we've got some more snow. Now, if you want to come along to some of it, I don't see why not, but I think I'm just going to keep it to the tops, because we're going to do the snow here. Oh, really? How much is it over in the US? Are you in the US, Purple? At the moment in the UK, it's only £5. So it's an absolute bargain, because you get so much for your money. And I would even go to say that that is ridiculously cheap, that you can buy a second to play around with if it's one that you really do like. It's so nice and cheap over here. So I have the link to the Amazon UK in the description. It is an affiliate link, meaning you won't get anything extra charged to you. They just give a small kickback if anyone uses it, but if you don't, that's fine. I'm not one of those that says you have to. Not at all. Okay, can you see the difference when you start to add the Posca? It adds like a little element to it, which is what I really like. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the book ever so slightly, because I'm like at an angle over here, so I'm just going to bring it along. The only annoying thing is that you have to make sure this is very well shook, and you just keep dotting. And just keep going. We're going to keep going along the top. This is Amazon. Oh, I have to know this. Hi, Evelyn. I don't know the conversions of the South African currency to this one, but I hope it goes down in price because it is a really nice book. And you know, it depends on what you like. I'm pretty much someone that likes most things, apart from loads and loads and loads of leaves. Unless it's something like what I coloured that I showed you guys earlier. I don't mind that because that's only got a few. But repetitive leaves, no. I can't. I just don't enjoy it. But other than that, I pretty much enjoy most things. And as long as it's about the process. So I find that if I get lost in anything, it doesn't matter what it is. If I'm enjoying it in that moment, it could be absolutely anything from this kind of thing to a portrait. I just enjoy most things. It's got to be something that I'm really getting gripped into, especially if you're sitting there in the evening and you've got a book out on your lap. Ah, Lou, yay! Yes, it is a great way. I'm going to do the sea foam down here, and we've got the icicles underneath here to do, but it's a nice way to also add snow-topped ice and anything like that. But you can do like the sea foam around here, and you can... What I do with sea foam is I tend to do more of a squiggly, like, round, sort of like this, and then I dab it up. So we're going to do that after. But at the moment, it's a nice way to have control over how much posca you lay down. Because if you do straight lines, it looks too harsh for me. I like the stippling effect of like that dot, 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 dot kind of thing. You know, it stipples down. It looks nice on the tops of the mountains instead of it being too much. But yes, it's one of those that I think once you start, you get really into. But what's the books that you're loving working in at the moment? Is there any in particular one that you keep reaching for? Mine seems to be this one. I'm pretty much a mixed bag at the moment. I'm liking everything. I'm liking absolutely everything at the minute. I'm not which way or the other, I'm just going for things that I really like the look of, and it's just sort of taking my fancy. Okay, so around the lighthouse I'm going to do like, if it's coming out of the little house, so we're going to add a little bit more down there. That's totally up to you. We've all got different tastes, we've all got different budgets, and if you're a budget colorist, then that's perfect for you. I mean, it's one of those things, I've watched so many dollar sort of, people do Dollar Tree and hauls from there, and they will only go to, you know, dollar stores, and they've got some really good books and finds in there. It all depends on what you like. You know, if you like mandalas and patterns, you can find them in the budget stores. You can find geometric type of patterns in there. You can find a lot of nature books in the budget stores. There's lots of different things. It all depends on what you like. Right, I really like that effect. Okay, let's go for our little lighthouse here before we go down to the sea. So I think I'm going to go for some brick colours. Oh, nice, Nana. You're doing it by the colour alongs. Hello, Bev. You're really into Christine Karen at the moment. Her work is just beautiful. Did you get the little helping hands one? She's got like a farmyard one. It's so adorable. Okay, let's go for some bricks. We're going to put a bit of red in those bricks. So we'll go for some Indian red in there, I think. Let's go for a dark. So we might put in some burnt umber or some walnut brown. Hey, yeah, gorgeous, all gorgeous. I love them all. Okay, I'm going to come for this little lighthouse. Got a little selection of browns with a red and a more orangey colour, so like a burnt. But I'm going to start off with my brown ochre in 182. And I'm just going to come all over. I think we'll start from this side. Now I need to decide what side of it I want to have lighter and what side I want to have darker. But this is a book I don't like to spend like lots of detail in. I just like to do, as long as the result comes out and I'm happy with it. But like all these little bricks, I'm not going to do every single one. Have I had snow yet? No! You guys are like making me scared that we're going to have snow now. We had the freezing weather though. I've actually put the heating on. It's gone from, I said that earlier in the stream, it's gone from 26 one day. You remember last week you had a 26-degree day. 24 to 26 in London it was. And then we went and plummeted down to -2. It's like, what's going on? Who sent us this? Take it back. Take it back. Don't want it. Oh no, you can also, you can keep it. What's the, hold on, I'll tell you what the temperature is at the moment. Lou, I just love everything. And you can have a little fiddle with your pencils as well, your new pencils. At the moment, it says drizzle. I was supposed to have snow at 8 o'clock tonight. And it's going to be let me show you. So this is the temperature that's supposed to happen the rest of the week. And tonight we're supposed to have drizzle, and we're supposed to have snow at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, possibly. It can keep it, I don't want it. No thanks. No thank you. Yeah, oh really? Oh no, I don't want it. Okay, I'm going to go for some Indian red. We didn't have it here actually, 192, I don't think. I didn't see it. We just have freezing cold weather. Picking up Andrew at 1 AM, it was like freezing. Me and Chip were, oh, bless him, his little, I had to put his jumper on, he was so cold. I was like, oh no. Because he's only little and he feels the cold more than, you know, some dogs. But he's always warm and toasty the majority of the time indoors. But when we go out, you know, it does affect him. He's only little. He only weighs 4.5 kilos. Okay, that's Indian red. I think I'll bring in some of my burnt sienna, which is 283. In Scotland though, Lou, you have, seriously, when you have the cold, you have the cold. And because you're near right up there, you get the snow quicker than what we do, don't you? Oops, I went over the line. Whoopsie. Whoops. Hey, Gary. You didn't see that? I didn't do that. Sorry, it's with burnt sienna, wasn't I? So I've still got to do the sky. So the full circle will be done. I'm going to like colour literally everything. Oh, whose birthday is it? Because we've got Lou Scoffin's birthday today, our mod, but she's not here at the moment, but she does watch these back, so a big, huge happy birthday. Hold on. And then I'm going to get my burnt umber at 280. There's a lot, and it was Alison yesterday. Alison Bonk. I don't know if the name. You need them all. Hey, Christine. Christine W. Because we've got Christine Aldridge as well. I don't want to mix you guys up. Yes, I love distress inks. I use them now the most probably because I'm doing the cards, but I do love them. And they're so easy in this book. And I love the polys in this book as well. Okay. So I'm just going to take my time, enjoy the process. Okay, then I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go back to my brown ochre before I go anywhere else. Let's do this side of this little lighthouse here. I'm going to focus on the bottom half. I want to do the whale. Cat, that's okay. Busy life, that's fine. Life calls, go do what you have to do, and then I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for another hour and a bit. So don't worry about it. Life first, I always say that. Okay, back to my burnt sienna. I just want to fill in a little bit more of this. And then we'll fill in a last bit of that in a second. I'm not missing anything, no. I'm just making sure, because sometimes there's some things and I miss them. Walnut brown, 177. And then if you want to be really fancy, you can get your Indian red. You can go in between some of them. There's a really strange sound. What is that? I think there's like, what are they called? They're like a fighter jet thing. I think they've gone over. Do you ever hear them and they're so loud? They're planes, like the fighter planes. I think that's what that was. That was really, really loud. I was trying to listen out for that. Do you ever get them fly over and you think, oh my God, sounds like a herd of elephants? And it's like one plane. Do you ever get that? Okay, just going to go for my ivory down that side for a second. I'm just going to blend that in a little bit. Yeah, it really sounded like my walnut brown. I'm just going to come back. I really didn't know what that was then. I was thinking, what on earth is that? Right, let's go for the top with a walnut brown. And our burnt ochre. Let's go for the burnt ochre there. Let's go for our Indian red. Hiya Valerie, and thank you. The best person to watch is Karen Zucchini Kitty. She is your girl, seriously. If you want to learn how to do them, I don't even come anywhere remotely close to her. She's amazing. I'm going to grab my cream. Okay, now I'm going to come up a second because I just want to see what it looks like on a whole. Because we're going to come down here, we're going to do the whale, and then we're going to do these icicles under there. We've got some little fishies and narwhals and all of that, but I think we're going to do the whale first. In the meantime, I'm just going to grab my Colbert Green in 156, and you know these little windows? I'm not, just go over them slightly. Okay, and then just so we know where we're going to go, we're going to do cream. And then you know that orange we used on the penguins, cadmium orange at 111? I'm just going to bring that out slightly so I know that those colours are going to come right out. So I'm just lightly putting them. We're going to come down to our lovely whale. Okay. And if you want to add any sea foam, we'll do that after, and we'll do it around the bottom here. So let's look at a humpback whale. Humpback whale. They're like blues. It's the same sort of colours that we've used, isn't it? But a little bit darker. Humpback whale images. And they have those white bits on the underneath. Humpback whale colours. They're stunning. Okay, so they have these stunning colours of like blue greys, and then they've got a lot of white in them. Let me just show you. So they have these white bits in them. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. So all the underneath's white, and they've got white dots. Then they have this blue grey on the top, and then the white that runs through. They've also seemed to have like a lot of markings on them as well. So we're going to try and do that as much as we can. Oh no, really? I swear I really don't want any of it. Okay, so maybe let's start off with a little bit of weathered wood. I think this is the colour I'm looking for. Let's have a look, because we can get some greys in on this as well. Let's have a look. That is the perfect colour, Distress Ink, which is weathered wood. And I think we just do a little bit, start ourselves off. Thanks, Gary. Hey, KP, honey. Oh, Valerie, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And thank you for all what you do as well, being a nurse and a superhero. Hope you've been told that enough over this pandemic. Okay, gonna go for the weathered wood. So I'm gonna try and follow a little bit of the colour. So I'm very lightly applying this because I'm going to bring in the majority with pencils. So I just want to kind of bring some of this colour in so that I can, whoops, start it off. So I need some more of these because look, my ones are kind of starting to flake out, but that's okay. Hopefully in May I'll have a little haul and I can do a video with that as well. Okay, so let's load ourselves up and dab it off a bit. Let's just move that aside. So they have a lot of white in them, and as I said, I'm not going to worry too much because we're obviously going to go into the water. But it gives us a good starting point. So I'm just going to bring in some of this nice colour. I'm going to leave some of that there. Let's bring in a little bit on his fin, especially there as well. Okay. Now I have got a mixture of this one and Stormy Sky, which could work really well actually. So we're going to add some of this in first, see how we get on, and then go from there. But I think it's really nice to be able to mix your media. So we start him off. Try. I didn't. I wasn't sure. I have been out of the loop anyway, KP, but I wasn't sure if I'd get it done in time. So I thought, well, it was always next year. Because I was trying to get some spring pictures, but no, I haven't yet. But that doesn't mean anything. That means yet. It's just I knew I wouldn't get any done this year. That was all. Okay. Right. So that's some of that started. Then I might come over to, let's see my Stormy Sky one. Hold on, let's get that inked up. Let's bring some Stormy Sky in, just a touch. This is nice and juicy, this one, so I'm just going to mix it in. I might need the other dabber. And just bring and blend out some of this colour because it gets obviously darker in some areas. And let's go for some in here as well. I'm just going to bring a little bit of the Stormy Sky with the weathered wood. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do at the minute with the Distress Inks on him, because I'll do the majority of the detail in with the pencils. You're on one. Yeah, you need it, Valerie. I mean, it's good to have that, and I don't know how you've been having downtime because it's been so stressful, but if you can find something and you have, that's amazing. Right, let's grab a couple of greys. I'm going to bring in my Holbein white. I'm going to get a warm grey. I'm going to get those blues. So indigo, Prussian, and I need a couple of greys. So I'm going to go for warm grey 1 as my blending pencil, I think. Maybe warm grey 3, some Payne's grey, and our blues. So these are the colours I've picked out so far. So I've got Payne's grey, Holbein white because we could bring in the white parts. We've got warm grey, I think that's 275. Warm grey 3 at 272. We've got our Prussian blue again at 246. Warm grey 1 at 270, and our dark indigo at 157. We've also got our Posca pen. Okay, so let's go over our detail on this gorgeous guy. Right, so we'll go for our dark indigo first. He has quite a lot of the darker colours. So we're going to bring in the darker indigo. Marilyn. I think, KP, it might have a few too many for you, although, no, it probably would. I know your taste. You probably will be like, no, it's just not for me. Okay, I'm going to go for some Prussian blue in with that indigo. As I said, it's not for everyone. It is quite detailed. And if you're someone that doesn't like too many details or too many trees, etc., it is a lot. Okay, dark indigo. And that's okay, you know. I say this all the time. You don't have to feel that you've got to have something, you know, because everyone's got it. So don't feel the pressure if, you know, we're all saying, oh, it's amazing. Because if it's not something that you particularly like, that's fine. Okay, going to go for my warm grey 3. And I'm just going to pop some of that in there with the blues. We'll work from top to bottom, so we'll work our way down. Dark indigo at the top. And I'm just going to just slight tinkle in a little bit of the blue, because we're going to have the greys and the whites on the underneath. So let's put some indigo and Prussian, just slightly. And I just need to sharpen my warm grey 1. And I'm just going to put that in because it's predominantly like a white grey. So we're going to put that on the underneath. Because this is light on the underneath, it's not dark. And it's the same with this part here. I've got all these little narwhals as well. Okay, and then my Holbein white, which is my favourite white, because we'll work our way round. Yeah, I think it might be one of those that's just got too many trees for you. I know you're not a lover of them. I broke my white there. That's the thing, my taste is just, it forever changes. I don't know about you guys, but all the time. Oh, you can colour. I say this all the time, I'm nothing special, I'm just like you. So, of course you can do it. Of course you can. I just colour regularly like everybody else. Okay, I'm going to go for my Holbein white, and I just like this white because it does bring in a nice, it just goes over stuff. So if you're trying to bring that white in, it will happen. Also going to get my Posca, and you know these round bits here? I'm going to put in some grey, but I want to take out that black. And I'm going to put in an extra few. Because they do have them all over. They don't just have them in one place. They have these little white bits. Now, with my Payne's grey, I'm just going to bring in some like grey near that. just so it sort of stands out a little bit. And you know where this fin is, I'm just with my paint spray going to shadow that a little bit. And then we'll work our way. Now back to indigo. So I'm going to come with my indigo here. I'm just going to put in some indigo here. And just remember, it's all about the process. I've seen so many people take this up over the pandemic, and then they watch people or see things, and then they're like, oh, I don't feel like I'm worthy. And I'm like, no, don't feel like that. It's about the process. Okay, warm grey 1. No one's better than anyone else. We're all we're all equal. It's just we've all got different styles. Okay, I'm going to go to our Prussian. I'm just going to get this in. And we're just going to work our way along. Yeah, there's our taste does change all the time. It's forever changing. I used to say absolutely no to mandalas, and now I actually don't mind them. I think it all depends. Like, I wouldn't do them all the time, but I actually do. When I do them, I do enjoy them. So it's very strange. Okay, I'm going to take that line out there with my Holbein white. And that one. It's really bizarre, isn't it? Indigo. I don't think there's anything that I don't particularly like. As I said, they're all... Right, for instance, just going to rabbit trail a second. So, a page like... Right. Let me get it. It's in here. A page like this one wouldn't appeal to me. 1, the flowers are way too big, and 2, there is way too many leaves. So this one in the book would not at all appeal. But it doesn't have to, you know, not every single page is going to... I surprised myself with doing this one because it has so many leaves and stems, but then not too many that I couldn't handle it. But the rest of the book I love. And there's a couple of pages, like the double pages, that I'm just not quite sure about. Right, this one probably wouldn't appeal. It's just all mountains. Hello, Michelle. Oh, enjoy, Kat. Enjoy your dinner. So this one here wouldn't. But then I look at these and I just think they're a scene. This reminds me of a Joanna Basford. Oh, it's gone out of focus. Bear with me. There you go. But then there's everything else in here that would, you know. So there's this one that I'm doing, I absolutely adore. Especially when we do all the top in different colours. This one I don't mind. I don't mind the crab. I like both of these. I like both of those. These, I wouldn't probably do that one, but I love this one. I don't mind that one, but I wouldn't choose that one. Love this one. I liked that, I like that, but again, I probably won't do that one. Anything that's too leafy, I'm not too fussed about. But the rest of it is fine. Oh my God, Shannon. I love this one as well. This is another favourite. And I like the octopus, but that double page, this one is just a no. So it's not everything in a book that you're going to like. And I've kind of come to realise that, but 95% of the book I love. So it all depends on what taste is. Okay, let's come back down. Yeah, some people love doing leaves. As I said, I really enjoyed my floral picture from Petra. So I don't know, my taste is forever changing. At the moment, I'm just in I'm enjoying most things mood. Okay, I'm just going to come, because I'm doing the top of it, I'm going to come down. This is still with my dark indigo. And I'm just going to put in the darker side of his tail. And there is going to be some lightness in his tail. So with my Holbein white, I'm just going to place in the white part, and where it comes to here, I just need to like put where I'm going to put the lightness, because this kind of plans it out for me so that when I come to do my colour I can see where the white is. Oh nice, I hope you enjoy it when you get it in April. Biblio. I absolutely adore it. It's just that 2 pages I'm just like But as I said, 95% of it I would totally colour, and I just kind of want to do it like a storybook that you flip through and it's like a life of colour. Okay, so it's still with indigo, still with dark indigo. We're going to put in another colour in a minute. We're just trying to get our dark in. Is our lovely Connie streaming today? I just need to get my eraser up there. Oh, that's ink, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so all these little markings, I'm going to bring in my Prussian blue now. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, KP, do you need a copy? If I find one in my Asda, I'll get it. I'll pick it up for you. When I go to Asda next, I'll have a look, because they sell them in my Asda, in my supermarket, but I might be slightly out of time because they don't tend to be in there for too long. But if I see it, I'll pick it up and I'll message you. Okay, so Prussian. And I'm going to go back to my grey, so I'm going to pick up Warm Grey 3. I'm just going to dibble dabble that into those inks. And the same coming from the inks on that side as well. So this is Warm Grey 3, which is 272. Going to place some of that in there. Oh nice, Connie, we missed you last week. Well, I certainly did. Even if I'm not in streams, I watched them back. And when I don't have them to watch back, it's like Shannon's on Monday, I was like, well, what am I going to do with myself? Yes, Christine, I like to do that. Hey, Michelle, I love to do that myself. So I have one more detailed, one less detailed. Okay, so I'm going to leave around his eye a little bit lighter. I'm going to bring in my Warm Grey 1 at 270, yeah, 270. And before we add in the blues, I'm going to just stick my grey in, otherwise I'm going to not have the graduation there. So I'm going to stick all this in first, and on that fin. So this is Warm Grey 1. And then we're going to start to put those blues in a little bit more. Okay, so back to my dark indigo. And let's start to detail this a little bit more now. So I'm just going to bring some more of this dark indigo in here. There's a darker patch, lighter patch. These go from dark to light in quite a few areas. So just working very slowly into all those little areas that I want. Just nice and lightly. And what I can do as well is blend that out into those greys a little bit. So I'm just going to go over very, very lightly. I'm at the end of my pencil so that I'm holding it super light. Chips off snoring again. Okay, back to my dark indigo. And here. think I might need a little bit more. Let me grab my, which one was I using? I think it's this one. Let me just grab some of my Stormy Sky and just blend that outwards into those areas. This is just back to my distressing that we were using. I didn't put enough on his fin. So Stormy Sky is more of like a blue-grey. So I'm just going to add a little bit more into there so it had a little bit more depth. The book is still available on Colouring Heaven's Etsy store. They got an Etsy store? I did not know that. Yes, watch her for distress. Brandy, Zucchini Kitty's done so many of them just with distressings, and she does them more of her earlier videos. She does a lot of them just with the distress, especially in like Kirby books. She did them. I've just got my Prussian blue, so it can be done. Can be done. It's a bit technical with the blending things and in detail, but it can be done. You might need to get pencils in there with the little detailed sections, but yeah. Of course it can. You can make anything work for you. It depends, you know, you just got to have a bit of practice, and it's trial and error. The first time I used them, I wanted to throw them in the bin because I just thought, I'm never going to be able to do this. And there's so many people that say the same, and if you're one of those lucky people that gets it first time, then good for you, because I just couldn't. And I was jealous of you. Okay, so we're going to go for the underneath. It's got like, I just couldn't. The first time I got them, I was like, oh, I think I'm just never going to get them. And then all of a sudden, some trial and error and some bad pictures later, I got them. Things take a while. And it took me ages with, like, it's funny because it took me ages to get used to luminance. And I love them now. I can't imagine life without them. But yeah, it's everything. Oh, I did not know that, Marilyn. Thank you so much, whoever said that earlier. Now I know. You know, I never knew that they had an Etsy store. Okay. So he's looking rather okay now. So let's go on the underneath of the... I know they have a site, but I've never actually used their Etsy, so I didn't have the foggiest idea. So I've learnt something new today. Let's go some on the fins they have, don't they? And on the fin there. They have like a lot of those little bumps. Okay. So we're going to go for some turquoises on the underneath, I think. So if we pick up the colours we'll be using earlier, so number 155 is Helio or Helio Turquoise, Colbert Blue Greenish at 144, Colbert Green at 156, Cream at 102 and Ivory at 103. And we're going to go to these under here. So I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to put in some of this first. So this is number 156. I'm just going to do them a little bit more turquoisey. You're going to have a little bit of a hint of yellow because they're underwater. So they've got that underwater shine, I think. And I think things tend to look a little bit more turquoisey under the water. So we're going to go with this first and work our way. Let's have a look at the chat. Oh, nice, Sarah. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, Fabiana Tre. Sorry, I thought you meant Fabiana Atanasio. Which one was it? The princess's one? I'll message you after, KP. I mean, I've packed away. It takes me about Because don't forget, I'm at my dining table. So it takes me a good like 20 minutes to pack everything away. That's why I, don't film more often. It's because it's not all set up. So I have to, like, our dining table is in our living room, and I can't stand to look at mess. I'm just, a bit of a mess phobe. I don't like it. So everything has to be put away every day. And I can't look at filming equipment. Like, I couldn't leave it out overnight if I wanted to do something the next day. I'd have to get it all out again. I know that seems ridiculous, but that's just how I am. I just can't do it. Okay, you know what would look nice with that? Like a jade green. So I'm going to pick up like light green or jade green. Is it a jade green? No, light phthalo green. I'm going to get this one. So I'm going to go for light phthalo green in 162. And I'm going to put some of that in there. And I'm going to go over some of that and mix it in so it's got like a little bit more of a greeny vibe. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. Hey Sarah! So I'm just going to put some of that in. We can build up on the colours as we go along. We just got to make sure that we're happy with them. So, the only thing that I really wish that some of these illustrations would look so good in Copics, and I'd love to be able to do these in Copics, especially these types of bits, and that would be good if they were single-sided, but you can't have it all. And as I said, if you're in the UK, this is currently £5, so really cheap, and even if there's only a few there that you would colour, it still justifies a £5, because sometimes we spend like, I don't know, £3 or £4 on one colouring page. You're getting a whole book. I see it that way. Sometimes we buy a page and yes. Oh, oh, thank you, Sarah. Oh, well, Christine, sometimes I've just got a bad habit of saying sorry. Okay, cream at 102. How have you been, Christine, after your little baby? I hope you're feeling a lot better. It's never easy. Okay, let's put some of that in. So just going to put some cream in there with that. So it's like a different multicoloured like drop. Now the darker parts. So all these little bits that go into the sea foam. I'm going to get my Helio Turquoise at 155. And I'm just going to put some of that in and mix it into those colours. I leave the darks till last. Because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted them to be. So I'm just going to go on the underneaths, I think, and all those little bits that could be darker. I think I'll do that. Oh, it's the change of weather as well, and kids are back at school, so they spread germs, Shell, with head colds, but our weather doesn't know what way it's going, if it wants to perk up or go down. So colds are just one of those really bad things that pop along, especially when kids go back to school. I think they pick everything up, don't they? And then they're like, here Mum, brought you a present home. Thanks. Thanks. I love you too. No, it doesn't make it easier, Christine. Losing a pet is horrible, and I know we expect it at some point, but we're never quite prepared for it, I don't think. Especially when our bond with them grows so strong and it hits us like a thunderbolt. But, like you say, it is a hard part of pet ownership that we do lose them, but we've got to think of it as they had the best life. And and we were lucky to be chosen to be their mum, because it could have been anyone else and we got them. So I always see it that way. And life was better for them, you know. Our life was better for having them. I really like those different greens. So I'm going to add a tiny bit more of the light phthalo green in 162. I know, our weather doesn't know what to do, Chef. I was singing the other day, the sun's got his hat on, hip hip hooray. And then I was saying, but he hasn't got his hat on today. It's just too much, it's freezing. I swear, us British people love to moan about the weather. It's our #1 moan. Back to cream. And then we're going to do some white on there, I think. The white Posca. Okay, so we've done a lot of blues. I kind of want to do these. What can we do the narwhals in? So can you see the greens and the yellows and the blues? I think we could even go a little bit more with the Prussian if you wanted to. I mean, I could take the time after, but you could totally go in there with your little... We've got to do all that sea foam. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Go around the edge. It's going to be a Posca loving page, this one. A Posca loving page. I'm going to love my Posca pen by the end of it. Probably use a whole one. Do you ever get those pages that you use so much of a product? Oh my God, talk about one of those spirographs eating 2 gel pens. 2, not 1, 2. 2 gel pens in one go. It just ate them. I was like, Lord alive, how much pen can one thing take? So I order the pack of 5 black gel pens and I go from there. Okay, let's get our white Posca. Now what I could do, I suppose, is do round some sides but not all. I just want to see how that kind of goes. Oh, I'm kind of going between. I feel like Dee Dee with Posca pen, you know when she does her nebulas. You know when she goes mad with a white Posca on a nebula. I feel like Dee Dee. I feel like I'm channeling Dee Dee now when she goes with her white Poscas. Oh, me too, Katie. Thank you, Kenny. I'm channeling my inner Dee Dee when she goes with her nebulas. I'm doing it on my oceans. Okay, so I'm going to go just over a few. We should all channel our inner Dee Dee sometimes. Let's just do some of those. I think that's alright, isn't it? I don't think we need to do any more. Okay, let's go on the underneath just because I can see that needs doing. Right, what should we do on narwhals? What colour are they? They're more grey, aren't they? They're greys. They're not the same colour as our good friend here. Oh, thank you. I'm channeling everyone, Shannon. Yes. What's happening? You, Connie, Dee Dee, who's next? I've got to channel my inner KP with my Fabiana page. Oh, and I'm doing well with becoming another person. It's so much fun. You know, the penguins are cute, aren't they? Okay, I think we all need to adapt to trying a new technique every now and then. So we channel our fellow YouTubers because we love them so much. I think it's good to do that anyway. Let's go for some of this. Right, I'm going to come up, why not? So we've got some of this done, some of that done. This is all going to come out in Distress Ink as well. Oh, I know. I know, me too, Connie. Don't email me, people. Oh, I love her. I still watch her streams back because I can't always attend them now because of Andrew, and it's just like, oh, never mind. Okay, I might be able to get back into some of them sometimes. Narwhals, because they're a mythical creature, how do they look? How do narwhals, how are they grey? Whoa, they're grey, okay. They're like, let me show you. Oh, they're spotty. Okay, so let me turn my lighting down. They are a grey, it's sort of like grey, white, and a very underneath grey as well. They're apparently 30, they're not mythical, are they? Are they real? They're like they remind me of a sea unicorn. Oops, sorry about that. So we've got little ones, so we need to do our greys. Let's do our cool greys then. Oh, I like anything white. So white wash, white acrylic. The only thing I don't like is white gel pens. They don't tend to work for me. I don't have a very good relationship with them. They're white and grey, so shall I do the tops grey and the bottom white? Let's go for it. Okay, so we're down here on these little fellas. They're so spotty. Okay, I'm just going to mute you because I need to sharpen. I don't want to deafen you. I nearly pressed stop streaming. I didn't want to stop streaming. Ah, thanks, lovely. We're not stressing about any of this. We're just going with the flow. Okay, so the tops of them need to be very dark. So I'm going to go for my Payne's Grey, which is 181. And I don't want to get my hand in the way. So let me bring the book this way a little bit. So I'm going to bring in the dots and spots a little bit bigger, darker, some of them. They really do go like from there. So I'm going to go with warm grey. Is that 4 at 273, and I'm going to bring that in first before I bring any other colour, because we go from the lightest at the bottom, darkest at the top. They are just particularly all grey. Then we need another cold. Where's my cold greys gone? Are they in here? They're in here, aren't they? I was using them for my dog. It's nearly done, my dog. Let's go for my cold grey 4 at 233. You need a stream deck. What's a stream deck? Yeah. I like my Uniborn Posca better than my jelly roll. See, I love jelly rolls, but not in with pencils. They just slide. So if you buy, you'll find, especially on Prismas, your gel pens will slide on them because they're wax, and it's just so hard to get anything to stick to them, and it drives you bananas. Cold grey 5 at 234 probably needs to be just the top there. Take care, Chrissy. Thanks for popping in. And as I said, day by day, you'll start to feel a little bit better. They do. Orcas are terrible. I love them, but they are terrible. They are the top predators of the sea, killer whales. And they look so sweet. And I've met a killer whale when I went to Tenerife. Gorgeous, but sad. And I don't know if any you got it in the US, but there was a documentary called Blackfish, which was about all the killer whales that were in captivity and they were killing the keepers and stuff. Cold grey 2 at 231, and you kind of think, well, you can't really blame them. You know, they're not in their natural habitat. They're doing everything that's natural to them. You know, they're being tampered with. What do you expect? And I'm going to go for black to just doubly go over those. You get a fine liner for this part if you want to. But you can kind of like say, well, you know, that you're doing things then that's not natural. So, yeah, I don't like that they've got them in captivity personally. Okay, I'm going to go for warm grey 1 at 270 over that entire horn. And then just so you can see it, because it's our picture and we need to be able to see it, I'm going to go for the underneaths with our Posca. I don't know if Mum's here today. Mum still can't really type. She'll say hello, but she can't read all the chat and everything anymore. But I don't know, I didn't see her earlier come in, so I'm not sure if she's around. She just finds it difficult now. I'm going to get my black Posca. They don't need to be in captivity, and that's the thing, you know, they're only doing what's natural to them, aren't they? So when they attack, I'm like, well, I just need to activate a new Posca. Hold on. I bought a new black because my other black ran out. So if you've not got Posca before, you just press down on it to get it to come until you see your bottom start to fill with ink. You'll see it on your paper. There you go. And I'm just going to put in those tiny little details. And you can actually very, very, very small tiny dots if you wanted to add them in. That's better. Okay, so all those narwhals will be that, and we need to do our little tiny tummies on our penguins as well. I will do. Okay, so we'll do exactly the same on all of them, and our little tiny tummies, we're going to go for the cadmium orange on those little, on our little tiny penguins. Don't think there's any other one. And then our cream, let's go for this guy, this guy, this guy, just very simple. I think all of them have cream now, don't they? Yeah. And then we got a seal as well, which have a blue and grey. So let's go for our Payne's Grey in 181. They say if Mum is here, then everyone's saying hello, Mum, but if you're not, I will tell you on the phone. Okay, I'm going to go for Payne's Grey. I'm literally going to go over the entire thing, and then we can do maybe some of the water. We've got to work out our water. Cold Grey 2 at 231. Oh my goodness, Chip. For such a small dog, you snore. I call him Piglet because he snorts like a pig all the time, and I'm just like, how do you make all these noises? How does something so cute? No, I'm not doing all the teeny tiny fishies. We might do them after, but not till we've done the water. So we've got to do the sea foam and everything like that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I've got to do the narwhals before I do the water. So let's go for our Payne's Grey. Let's just do them all in like one go. So we'll go for some Payne's Grey on all of them. I'll try and do them all at the same time. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to have to do them singly, and it's just easier. So we've got 3 to do. So let's do them all. So Payne's Grey, and Payne's Grey is 181. We'll go to a Cold Grey. So we're going to go to a Cold Grey 4. Is that at 233? Do all of those. Did you hear him? That's because of the inks. these are the pages. This book is something that I don't want to spend so long on, but I just want to go with the flow and enjoy it. And I found that the inks and the polys combined is something I'm just enjoying it so much. You know, you get certain books that you tend to gravitate towards with certain products. That's this. Cold Grade 5 at 234. I think we all have those books. Have you got certain books that you only use a certain brand in? Or have you got certain books that you only use Inktense in? Or have you got things that you do certain things in? I do. Okay, Warm Grey 1 at 270. And I think because of how I've tackled this, with the enjoyment that I'm getting out of it, it just makes me want to colour in it more. I think that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to go with Warm Grey all over those. We got coming with our black as well. Okay, so you just bring you up a tad, and then I'm going to go for the white on the horn, on the underneath. Oh no, he's such, as I said, he's a little piglet. I call him Piglet. That's his nickname, you know, like Winnie the Pooh. And then I said he totally needs a piglet little outfit. He would rock it. Okay, I'm going to get my black. Has it gone out of focus? I think it has, sorry. There you go. Okay, so I'm just going to dot in. Oh my god, Chip. I'm going to try and not get my hand in it. And then we're going to just dot that in. And the eye, okay, and then that one as well. He's right beside me in his bed, so you probably can hear him as loud as anything. Okay, so there are the little sea creatures done. He's something else, honestly. Okay, and then we need to work out, just sorry about my arm for a minute. We need to work out what we're going to do with this. So, I have got a couple of blues. Honestly, I sit here sometimes listening to him, I'm like, oh my god. Oh, he's just, yeah, he's a chip, is what I say every time. Okay, so I'm just looking at the blues. That might be a bit too bright, although the ocean can be nice and bright. Now, I have got quite a few blues, so I'm just having a look. Maybe we need some of that like green tint in there, so maybe like pine needles or something. Let's have a look. Sometimes there is like a little tiny hint of a green in the sea, so I'm just going to have a look. So this is kind of like a mixture. Let's have a little go. So the chipped sapphire is a bit too dark, but that would be good with coming up to the darker areas. So we'll keep that. This one I'm going to chuck. I'm just using this as my dabber for a second. See, the Mermaid Lagoon is really sort of a light blue. See, and Chip sleeps in our bedroom, so yeah. And then that one is Blueprint Sketch, which is slightly darker. Now, this is the way I do things. So I will hold this back and test it up against my page and see what I like before I do anything. Now, being that that's a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, I might go for some of the chipped sapphire with the sea foam up at the top. It tends to get a bit darker at the top, doesn't it? And then we might come down here with the nice light colour. What do you think? But we've got to be really careful. And the thing is, I could do this with watercolour, but I don't really want to at the moment. I'm just enjoying doing the inks and stuff. I really need to get myself some more of these. So I think we might do some of each. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Hold on, let's close that, otherwise I can't see your chat. They are, aren't they? I mean, these are the colours, if anyone was interested, these are the colours that I have. And, you know, you build things up slowly until you get used to something. And I say this all the time, you know, at first you're not sure, and then you just take your time and you build stuff up. So let me show you the distress inks that I've currently got, just to give you a hint of colours. So these are all the colours that I've currently got. The Kitsch Flamingo is new, and that's my favourite. Honestly, I love it so much. So there is a nice selection. I've got quite a few blues. So I've got Mermaid Lagoon, Blueprint Sketch, Broken China, Faded Jeans. Where's that one? Hold on. Oh, I didn't remember I had that one. Let me find that. Oh, there it is. Found it, found it. That's a nice one. I've also got one of those Memento inks. This one, is it called Danube Blue? So let's have a look at that one as well. So that's very similar to that one, isn't it? It's almost the same. That's almost identical, so that's another option. I've got Chipped Sapphire, which is the darkest. Stormy Sky, which is like a blue-grey. That one, as you can tell, it's run out. So I've got to get a re-inker. But these are what I've got. And what I've done as well, I've done an L for large pad and an S for square block. So I've done that. So the square is a small pad, S. The large pads is L's. So I've done that so I know what I've got. But yeah, I've got some nice blues in there, and there really is some nice colours. Now, every time they add one, all you have to do is just add it on. You can just add them at the side. I've added my Kitsch Flamingo on the top. You can or you can put an insert and do that. I know some of them are really nice. The Evergreen Bough's nice. Pine Needles is nice. Festive Berries is a nice red. Oh, large pad, small pad. So the large is the L, the S is the square small, and there is a big size difference, look. But I started off with these, and when I knew that I was going to use them more and more, I started to invest in bigger pads. So that's what the L and S is for. It's just so I know what I've got. But that's the colour choices as well. So just in case that you were wondering what they are or what they look like. They do last a while. Some of mine now, like these two, need re-inkers. So how you know is because they start to go white at the side, and that just means they're completely dry. So you'll see it like it's visual. It's a big visual that you can see when they're dry. A nice inked up one won't have that look. It's just all juicy loosey, very juicy. So you'll know. And the re-inkers are about the same price as the pad, the large pads. So yeah, they do last a while. I've had these ages. I've had them ages. Okay, I'm just going to have a sip of my tea, and then we'll start to put in a little bit. And then see where we're at. Because it's already nearly 6 o'clock, I can't believe it. Okay, so I think I'm going to go for, to start with, Faded Jeans. I forgot I had this one. I use this quite often in, I don't need to. And with the small pads, another thing, you can put these in the underneath, which is really handy. And for my bigger pads, the ones that I use often, I've taped that pad for that colour on the underneath as well. So, you know, it depends on how many you got. I need to just buy myself some more detailers, which are really inexpensive. And then for the ones that I use a lot, I keep the pads inside. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And I'm going to go around the top bit here. So, this colour here, Faded Jeans, is, I don't want to do too much. It's this colour. It's a really nice, like dark blue. And a way as well, what I've found, what works for me, is I dab off a little bit. So say I ink my pad up, and I dab off so I don't have that blob, and then I come in, because otherwise I'm going to get the blob. and then I start to bring it in. Otherwise I'm not experienced enough, and I'll end up blobbing it, and then it looks horrible. So I end up just dabbing off on a bit of paper and then coming in. You can also use these. Oops. These. And I do, but at the minute I'm quite okay with using my dabbers. It depends on what I'm working on. So, don't forget, I'm only doing a little bit of this to start off with because it gets me started. Because this is going to be where our sea foam comes in. Because we've got to do that at the top. So, you build up. And that's another thing, you can start off light and you just build up. Now, as I said, I'm not experienced in using these. I just use these how I find works for me at the moment. And it's so different, like working on a large surface for a card to working in detail for a colouring book is totally different. Totally different. Okay, so let's mix in some other blue, which is going to be a bit lighter. So I'm going to bring in some Mermaid Lagoon, and I'm just going to put the pad for faded jeans back, and I'm going to bring in my Mermaid Lagoon one, and I'm just going to start to very lightly bring in those two tones. And don't forget, we've got details to do yet. So we've still got to do our pencils. And don't worry about coming over this part because we've still got to do all. I'm not going to fussy with this. I've still got to go into the actual sea, which will be down. Okay, right. So that's the top part done. Whoops. Hi Jen, sweetie, how are you doing? It's so nice to see you, even if you're just popping in. Ah, thank you. Hi J Penny. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is just mix that in. Just very, very quickly. And then what I'm going to do is bring in some pencils, and we're going to do a sea foam coming up on the rocks, which will be fun. Okay, so that's one easy way to get your base down in, so that we haven't got so much colour to lay down. So let's bring in the colours that we've previously used. Again, I'm not going to really sway from them because I think they're a good selection. But I might bring in, oh sorry, I might bring in a lighter blue, and we shall see. We might use a lighter blue. So for now, let's bring in some indigo. Oh no, wrong one. Indigo blue, which we have used, so 157. We might bring in some middle phthalo blue at 152. And let's bring in some Colbert blue greenish at 144. And you need your Posca as well. Your Posca is going to be very hard at work for all the sea foam. I'm still here. I'm still here. Probably for another 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to bring you down. So before we start to tidy this up, let's bring in the sea foam area. So let's go for some indigo, because when that hits there, we want a shadow under where we're going to put the sea foam. So when we do the white with our Posca, so it's going to come all up here, right? It's going to bring sort of like a sea foam up around the edge. When we do that, that's probably not, the good thing is we can rub that out and start again. When we do that, I don't want it up so far. the underneath of that will have a bit more of a shadow, so that's better. So underneath that area where we've just been, I want that to have a darker shadow. So I'm going to bring in the indigo under these parts here. So I'm just going to bring in the darkest areas, I suppose. And it's so much easier once you've got your base down because you haven't got all that work. So I'm going to do half of this now with you, and then I'll do the other half there off camera because it'll be exactly the same. What have you bought, Marilyn? Oh, it's so funny. I love hearing what you guys buy. What have you bought? What's the Amazon man? Are you on first name terms? Okay, so we're going to just bring all of this over here. I'm going to kind of bring that round. Okay. So this is just a shadow underneath the sea foam, and then we'll come down to lighter. But remember, because we're going to have all the white, you know, and then we're going to bring the lighter blue in. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just got to be something you like on your own eye. Light phthalo blue at 145 can come in off that dark indigo underneath. And then you can bring in some turquoisey colour as well on the underneath here as it goes lighter. So let's see how that will work before we do any more. Hiya, Boots! Yeah, you're keeping Amazon in employment, even though that guy is a multi-billionaire. Isn't he the second most richest man in the world after Mr. Tesla? Is it? Something like that. I wish you better, Boots. Okay, so we're going to have sea foam. That's going to come up on the rocks. So it looks kind of the same, but we just got to join it a little bit better so it's not got a gap. And you can kind of like, I don't know if I want to add the lines, I might not. I can always rub them out. Okay, so I want to work out what I want to do with that, but I do that as I work things out as I go along. You know, I'm not going to be a perfectionist over this. It's a page that I'm just going to work out every time I'm sort of doing a bit what I want to do with it. So I kind of want to take this out, because we're not going to have the black line there, are we? And it's the same on the other side. I don't want the black line. So we'll work it out as we go along. But yeah, we're going to have the sea foam come crashing up, and especially on the side. I think it's going to be the most over here. So we'll do that. And then we'll work out what we want to do with the sea. Okay, so let's get our cobalt blue greenish at 144. And let's add some texture in with the sea. And then let's go back to our indigo a second, and let's go right underneath there. And then back. That's okay. That's what she always tells us. We were with the middle phthalo blue, wasn't we, at 152. So I'm just going to play around with until how I'm sort of happy with the result. Because the underneath part here where I join it all up is going to be a lot lighter. And I might do that in pencil, I'm not quite sure yet, because we've got all of these little creatures that I don't want to get ink on. So I think what I might do is add my water in, and I think I'm going to do the long way round with pencils. So for now, the ink's done with the top part. And I think what I'll do is bring in like the lighter tones down, but we'll do that on the, I don't know if it'll be the next real stream after, but just sort of bring in all those little textures and stuff. So we need that mermaid lagoon again, so I didn't put enough on that side, did I? I'll just bring that in. That's better. I didn't cover enough. And just sort of mix it up. And we'll just play around. Okay, let's go to a light phthalo blue. Now all of that will have the sea foam, so I'm going to just sort of, what I might end up doing is getting my cream, you know earlier on I did it on that part, I might get my cream and just add a little bit into the very tops as well. I didn't put enough. So it's just about mixing up and seeing to what you want to do with it. Going to add a little bit more of that cream in there so it adds a little bit of lightness to that. It's a bit more turquoisey. Yeah, I think we're going to do the long way around with that part. I think. I don't know yet. We'll see, we'll see. I just need to sort of mess around and have a look. So even if I did half and then I could show you how I did it, because I think it's going to be, this is going to be a lot otherwise, where it's probably going to go outside the lines, and I really don't want that, because I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the outside of that yet. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to go for Colbert Green at 156. Add that turquoisey colour in, where it just hits the sea. So the bottom of it is going to be the lighter section, and the top of it is going to be the darker section. Hello Laura, back at you. So we're just fiddling around. And remember, dark indigo is probably at the top. And then the lighter colour is going towards the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to have a little fiddle with doing half of the sea, so I know exactly what we're going to use, and then coming back with the other half. Then we've got completely different colours that we're going to use on top. So it will just bring it all to life, because this will be so bright at the top. I think it's going to be such a contrast. Okay, and then we get our sea foam coming up on the rocks. It just comes all the way up to where you're happy with it. You can also bring some down. And if you wanted to take some of that white off, you can dull it down a little bit with a bit of grey, but you've got to wait for it to completely dry. But I think being that, if you look in the ocean, they generally are like a really bright white. We should get away with it fine. Okay, so because I've been on over 2 hours now, time flies by. So I'll continue in the exact same colours, and I'll work out as well, hold on, I'll work out this side so that we can replicate it that side. And then we've got the top half and the C to do next time. But so I'll just continue doing with this pattern over here, and then I'm going to bring this really nice and bright. I don't want it dark. I want quite a lot of like a phthalo green in there, the light phthalo green, the cream and the lighter colours of blue. So it will be like the light phthalo blue, the sky blue, so more of the turquoisey colours, and maybe more towards the light cobalt turquoise and the sky blue. So, and if I need to add any deeper, darker blues in there, you can always grab this one. So I think there's going to be a mixture of how it will all combine on the underneath, but I think for now it's going to be one of those things that I'm just going to have to work out. As I said, I'll sort of split it down the middle. I'll do this half, and then I can show you how to do it on that side as well. Then the top will be totally different. So we've got to bring in something along in those, but it looks like you've got little planets and stuff, so I'm not quite sure if these are like stars. You've got some snowflakes, you've got a little bit of everything up there, so I'm not quite sure how we're going to tackle that yet. But what I might do is just take a picture of this, print it out, and then have a little go at the top and have a little look about what I'm going to do with that. But I know I want it as a total contrast to the bottom. I know that that's going to be completely different. So if I continue to just do the exact same colours as what I've been using that side, then I'll do the sea foam coming along, and then the bottom will be a lot brighter because I really want to showcase and make these little guys stand out. And then we're going to do some slight distress inks with like scattered straw coming like out from the lighthouse, and then we can blend that into the background. So it'll all be completely different, but it'll just be a bit of fun. But as I said, these books are fun. If you've not got this, then, and it's something that you wouldn't mind doing, this was a distress ink one. This is going to have obviously got distress inks on there. They're just fun to do. So they're just something nice and different. For a bargain of £5 in the UK, I think you can't really go wrong. But it's just really nice to just do something a little bit different to my usual, because I usually do portraits. However, on Saturday, I can either go back, finish the Anastasia one, or come back and finish this one, because we've got two on the go. So I'll have a little look, and I'll have a little play before the next stream anyway, and I will come back with this one. Oh, thank you so much for hanging out. 2 hours you all finished. You bless your hearts. I always think that I won't overstay my welcome. But it'd be so nice to do something different at the top, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this will sort of all pan out, because I've still got to do all the detail, and yeah, it'll just be fun. But thank you ever so much for spending your day, your morning, or your night with me for a little while, for 2 hours of it, bless you. You have an amazing day. I'll see you on Saturday, but I'll see you around in other streams until then. And hi Fliss, I've not seen you in ages. I hope you're good. I was high and by. But take care everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you Saturday. And until then, stay safe, have fun, enjoy your week. Bye.